It's that time again. It's 8 inches high with me, Eve Esquire.
Ooh.
And tonight my very special guest is JAZZY BYNER. Reveal! Wow, Jazzy, thanks so much for coming on my show.
Thanks for having me, Eve.
Thank you. Yeah, so happy Juneteenth, everybody. We're out of the UN for their human rights violations because we're violating human rights. It's hard to be happy today.
It's really like, and they used to tell me to go to history class because then I would learn how to not repeat it again. And I was like, bullshit, you guys just want me to memorize things. And now I'm like, oh, wait, no, it's the same shit over and over again. And the white people just can't figure out how to get their shit together.
Oh, holy shit. Here's an argument I saw today on a friend's page. It was like, just like we had to fight the natives
No.
for control of the country, they're comparing it to immigration. It's like, we've always had to, we immigrate and we've always had to fight for rights, whether it be the Spanish, the French, the natives. I'm like, I think we kind of invaded there. I mean...
That just made me itch. Like, that's so horrific. I couldn't even think of a response. Like, I think that would just be one of those auto blocks on my end. Like, I just can't with you.
And it's like, I'm from Idaho, and like, I for some reason, I think of the Pacific Northwest as being, like, there's certain parts of, like, the U.S., I think they're more in touch with our Native American roots because we have so many reservations there. And Idaho is definitely one of them, and like we have the first Native American woman running for governor right now, which is very exciting. Go Paulette! And he's a native Idahoan. He's like, yeah, when we fought the natives. I'm like, it's something to be proud of.
Well, and so the way that I'm understanding this comment that came from, it sounds like an Idaho person.
Yeah.
They are human. I am trying to learn how to be nicer to people and not let them know what's going on in my head, which is a problem lately.
Well, especially when like we're so connected on social media and so many different platforms. Also, this show is just basically I open up about people. And I realize it's like, it's not negative, this is just how I think about people. And I have to be okay with that. My only rule is if I want to say it in front of your face.
I love that rule.
I'm not going to say it here.
I love that rule.
Yeah.
I love that rule. I do try to live by that.
And boy, am I brave. That's all I'm saying based on the show so far. I am brave. But you were saying, my apologies.
Oh, we were going back to...
Not saying what you think.
Going back to not saying what we think. We were going back to that Idaho person who probably shouldn't have said what they thought. But what I'm understanding that this person was trying to say to you was that we fought the Indians or Native Americans. He said, okay, anyway. We fought
he said natives.
Yeah,
I'm surprised it wasn't savages.
Oh, God. But that we fought the Native Americans as if they were immigrating in?
They were...
Was he drawing parallels? Like, we had to fight?
No.
What was his... What do you think he could have been thinking?
I have no idea, because first it was like, you know, we've had to fight off people who wanted to, like, live here. Like natives.
Right, so that is what he was trying to say. He was trying to say, like we as the white man, like, I'm just trying to understand what is going on in his brain, and I'm having a hard time saying it out loud, that he's using we as the white man.
As the white man. Idaho is fake Native American for the white man rises, I think.
Whoa.
No, it's actually the sun. It's like the sun's coming over the mountain, which it's the same thing. It's a made-up Indian word.
You know what I'm thinking? I should stop trying to figure out what that man was saying and stop giving him any breath or any mind, because it's making me and my brain wallow in where he lives, and it's even creeping me out trying to have to untangle it. And I'm probably saying really bad shit and accidentally racist shit, trying to figure out what world he's living in.
This is where you do the improv mood, where it's like, hold on, let me understand what you're saying here. You're saying that we as Americans have had to fight off potential immigrants such as the natives.
Yeah.
Just confirm or deny. Just, it's a yes or no question.
This is, yeah.
I didn't get into it too much. I quoted that, and then he cited about Mexican nationals earning more on their tax return than Americans. And I'm like, I care more about the top 2% of Americans not paying any income tax.
Wouldn't that have to do with the way that tax brackets work?
Tax brackets, and also
or capitalism, which I'm assuming
yes.
that he's also pro.
Yeah, it's like they're taking advantage of capitalism so they can thrive in a new country. I'm cool. There's probably some incentives for people trying to immigrate or people who live here, whatever. I don't really care. That's not my problem. That's never been my problem.
You know, this is what happens every time I say I'm going to stop talking about Crocs. And I just keep on talking about, like every time I say I'm going to stop.
Not the plastic shoe.
The plastic shoe.
My best friend loves Crocs.
This is why I say I'm going to stop talking about them.
It's
is
okay.
I understand that there is something about Crocs that I don't understand. And I'm not necessarily meant to. Which means I just should probably, have one of those moments with them where I say, Crocs,
see,
this isn't you, it's me.
I gave Crocs a chance. I found a pair of leopard print flat Crocs. Your basic valet flat, but it was in a plastic leopard print. I'm like, these are seriously cute. And they were $1. And who can pass that up? So I did that. I walked in them for a day, and my feet were entirely cut up from sweat and blisters. So Crocs... no.
Could suck a croc.
Suck my croc.
Yes.
So we're here at Jazzy Byner. Let's get to know a little bit about Jazzy. I met Jazzy as a headshot client through my boyfriend, Donavan Freberg, who is an excellent portrait photographer, publicity photographer. You need these things. You think people know how to photograph in natural light? Oh, my friends, no. I've seen your pictures and I judge you. Talk to me if you think I judge you. I will be. And you will book a session with my boyfriend because we need rent money, guys.
And he's wonderful.
Oh, God, the pedigree alone is like, are you fucking insane? He interned. He was basically an apprentice for Harry Langdon, who, if you love any of those glamorous 80s portraits of Farrah Fawcett, Morgan Fairchild, Linda Carter.
Aquanet. If you're a fan of Aquanet,
right?
You should be a fan of him.
Harry Langdon shot the Linda Carter Maybelline campaign.
What?
Which is iconic, and if you don't know what that is...
Harry Langdon dick on the table.
That's right. Yeah, and if you don't know what that shoot is, I am judging you! I am judging you! This show should just be called I'm Judging You Secretly.
I was just thinking, it's a new hashtag.
Okay,
easily.
well that'll be a new segment, I think.
Eve judges you.
I'm judging you! Take that, Bill Maher's New Rules. That's written by other people.
Bill Maher has rules for us?
Oh, New Rules. That's his ending segment on Real Time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of Real Time in my time.
I mean, not to brag.
Especially right now, not to brag, but I don't know. I mean, I don't always agree with him, but I loved Politically Incorrect as a kid. And as a kid, I grew up in Idaho, a super, super red state. This was the only way I could see a lot of liberal minds coming to the table and going head to head with,
and having conversations that help aid you in a state where you have to have these conversations and have to try to go, what are you talking about that we had to fend people off?
Right.
When you have to be armed to unravel that.
My family is one of 8 Democratic families in our entire town.
That's it. You've told me how many, it was 12 people graduated from your high school,
No,
right?
mine was 184.
Still crazy.
And at our class reunion, apparently there was only about 50?
I think that's a pretty great turnout, actually.
That's actually a good turnout. I did not participate. I had I'm gonna do a plug real quick, because I can. I wrote for Your Late Night Tonight with your host... Matt Pinfield of MTV.
What?
That's right.
Da-na-na-na-na.
So that was my class reunion, which I thought was...
He ran the Headbangers Ball.
That's right.
Okay.
So I spent it on with
Aging
my
myself.
childhood bestie, Sheila. She was in Oregon at the time. She's like, "Are you going to the reunion?" I'm like, "Probably not." I'm like, "Great." So we had our private Facebook Messenger reunion, looking at all the pictures. And guess what I was doing the entire time? Judging you! I'm so glad nobody from my high school watches this. Or am I not? I'm kind of sad.
I mean, you are getting pretty good numbers. I'm imagining it's mostly your high school because 50 of them showed up to the fucking reunion, Eve.
That's true. Guys, I don't mean to brag, but we are a triple-digit show. What? All right, so we were going to talk about you. This is my problem in every one of these shows. It's like, let's talk about you, but me another 45 minutes.
It's okay. I could do it in
Thank
15.
you for coming over and playing dolls with me. I first met you as a headshot client, and you were delightful. You're one of the nicest people, because some people, I help out with my boyfriend. I hold a reflector. I'm learning.
You're interning the same way he interned with Dick on the Table, Harry Langdon. Was
Harry Dick on the Table Langdon. Yeah, it's just because some people kind of just want to fuck my boyfriend the entire time because he is handsome as hell. I gotta say that.
A hunk of beef.
Totally. Hunk of Swedish beef.
And sweet.
He's so
and
kind.
Respectful. Like, as a photographer, let me just talk for a second. We'll talk about me in a sec, but we got to do another 5 minutes on Donovan, of course.
The Type 5 on Donovan.
You know, when I signed the contract to come over, there had to be a Type 5. No, I don't, like, really, he dependable, sweet, easy to communicate with, easy to work with.
Absolutely.
Like, understanding, flexible, all of those things, and also not skeevy, and comes with the side of Eve. So, like, I think even my second headshot, or my second photo shoot session, which turned into, like, everything with me is extra as fuck.
Yes.
Like, that even, I think we scheduled it around your availability. When it came down to it, Donovan was like, well, we could do one of these 2 days. Eve's not going to be here, but we could still do it. And I was like, let's do it this day.
Yes, and those shots are phenomenal and some of my favorite. If you guys have seen the promo for this week's guest, that was one of Donovan's, and it looks hot as fucking hell.
Thank you. Donovan is so, like, creative, and I love the way his mind works, and he even makes, like, the regular outdoor headshots, like, like, just, you know, plain, I say plain Jane because that's what they're supposed to be. Like, your best of your best still, but, like, he makes those, like, he always, like, dials in on somebody and finds what's special about them on the inside and brings out the fun. Yes. And that was why I always wanted to work with him. And then the second time we worked together, he was like, okay, well, because we had to do, like, a few resketch, and he was like, oh, you know, it's a 3 look, but I'll throw in a 4th look, and I was like, you're so awesome, and he was like, and try to make them all look really different, and I was like, oh man, and he's like, and I love when you bring color in, and I was like, he's just challenging me now, and so I really went for, like, I was like, I forgot that they were headshots basically, and just went for, like, 4 completely different looks.
No,
like,
I think the reason we did that because, like, you're just so much fun to work with. We were even saying, like, it's like most people don't know what to do. They don't know how to, like, here's how I want to present myself. You're somebody who is very take charge of your own look, which makes it a lot easier. Also, I'll go back to him being skeevy. Not being skeevy. But I feel like he's so not skeevy that he encourages you to, like, flirt a little, which I love. And it feels safe.
Well, it's not necessarily, and it's with the right thing, because this is what I always, when people ask me for advice, one, I tell them, like, look for other things. You know, I'll give all of the, like, look out for the skeevy signs that, like, when you would look back and go 2020, oh, that should have hit me in the ass, in the face, instead of it's hitting me in the ass, literally. Like, those are the things, like, if you think it might be weird, it probably is weird. But at first, you're working with coworkers, and especially if you're somebody who's worked in sketch comedy, improv, like, I think I went a little naive and trusting, you know, like, I was like, everybody's professional. Carefees. I'm really, like, with my hands.
And now the dust snow.
Yeah, it's like, everybody's professionals. They're not going to do anything weird. And then, like, sometimes even the more professional it is, it's like the more wolf in sheep's clothing it is. Because you're like, oh, well, they wouldn't ask for this if it wasn't. And then all of a sudden, they're, like, pulling their dick out. And you're like, what happened?
It's like that scene in Fame of Coco.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Right?
Oh,
everybody.
My God.
If you have not seen Fame, I am judging you! The movie is the greatest movie. Because there's no judgment. You get to judge everything. Also, there's only two of my favorite movies. Both have women paying for abortions in unique ways.
Dirty Dancing, the other one?
No.
Because that was a unique.
No, I'm talking unique. My Dr. Daddy's Money is not unique. Like in Fame, the pretty white ballerina gets knocked up by Leroy, who's black. So there's an issue. She's in this doctor's office, she's explaining, it's like, you see, a baby wasn't supposed to be in the picture, I'm supposed to dance all the great parts. And the nurse just really flatly says, will that be on your visa? Right?
Right.
And like, she's this rich girl, so you assume, like, oh, she spends her visa on rich things. Also, this is what the remake of Fame was lacking. I saw that in the theater, and it was terrible.
I haven't done the remake. I haven't done the remake of Dirty Dancing either.
No, don't.
And, I don't protest. I'm just like, I'm busy.
Right.
And if I want somebody to waste my time, I'll, go to work.
Right.
Things like that.
By the way, number one movie with the most unique way of paying for an abortion is Cabaret.
Oh.
Because Liza Minnelli, Sally Bowles, has that beautiful fur coat that Maximilian gave her, and then she has that argument with the fucking hottest man on earth, Michael York. It's like, I fucked Maximilian! And it's like, so did I. And it's just like, yes! But then she takes that fur coat, and she uses that to pay for an abortion, and it's like, fuck. Shit is hard.
Fucking love that play. Fucking love that movie. I will go always, anyways.
Always.
One of my favorite birthday presents ever was my best friend gave me a pineapple.
Oh, because
it was a pineapple for me. I was like,
yes.
Granted, I was probably 80 shots of Jaeger into the night, but I did cry a little.
Okay, so for those who haven't seen the movie, there is a older woman, Frau Schneider.
Oh, I think it's only in the play.
It's only in the play.
Movie?
I know this because I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, the ITT Technical Institute of Theater.
Okay.
And for my vocals class, I did my audition song, Freddie, My Love from Greece, and it's like, you have a low-key register. I'm 18, by the way. You have a low voice. You're going to sing this song as sung by Lottie Lenya. From Cabaret called So What?
Oh God, I love that song.
But I'm 18.
If he were ever to see an
uncorseted me, so what? I could not do it then because I'm like, if he should ever should see. I'm very shy about my voice, and I keep pushing myself to do musical comedy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I did, for Christmas time, have you ever seen The Worst Witch?
I have not.
Okay, let me see The Worst Witch.
Oh, well, let's do it.
Do you like Tim Curry?
Fuck yeah, I love Tim Curry.
Oh my God.
I mean, yes.
He does a song called Anything Can Happen on Halloween, which looks like it was just written with random props from around a warehouse. It's like, anything can happen on Halloween. Your sister could turn into a bat. And then they show a bat. It's just really...
I mean, I do The Rock.
Oh, fuck. We've talked about it.
Okay. Yeah, we don't want to get too off track. But
anyway, so I did a Christmas version of Anything Can Happen on Halloween called Anything Can Happen on Christmas Eve. And I killed myself trying to, find an instrumental version of it so I could sing it. And then I watched The Marvelous Miss Maisel. I saw the Bob Newhart routine where he just answering to, and I'm like, clicks. I'm going to talk to a recording agent and just say, oh, we're going to replace all the Halloween words with Christmas words. So I just went in there and bleeped out every noun or verb I could. And the result was very weird and wonderful. But I also have a song called Que Sera Sera as To My Mother, which is very unique, and it's a little bit difficult to sing. Or my He-Man medley. I did He-Man twice last week at Burlesque.
I can't express to you how it's on my bucket list to see you do burlesque, and I hope that's not creepy.
No.
Donovan's coming home soon. I won't get handsy.
Well, the weird thing is,
but the numbers that you put, that I see pictures of that you're putting on, are they excite me at home, and I think that's what I love is the brain of Eve is really somehow my soul translated. I didn't know I needed to see Darth Helmet do burlesque until I saw your picture, and I was like, fuck.
That's the thing I get recognized most now. Everyone's like, I saw that. I'm like, I've known you for 4 years. Yeah, but when you did that, I'm like, all right.
Now, I heard about you. You know what's funny is I didn't realize I had heard about you, I think, when we had first worked together. And because I remember at some point we both talked about, like, I was like, oh, you go to the pack?
Yeah.
And, but I heard, like, one of the first things I ever heard about the pack was a tampon bit.
That's me!
And,
That's me!
And it was only later on, after you had posted something about it, that I was like, fuck, I had heard to watch out for this, for Eve, before I even... So then my fangirling of, like, actually knowing you and working you, like, went to, like, an extra, like...
Okay, another type 5 on me. Just because I have to explain, this sketch is called The Legend of Tampon Fist. This was born in 2007. I made up as a rambling rant.
It was Curtis Endicott was like, oh, I'm leaving a show. And this girl did. Yes, go on, sorry. Carafees.
We're working in a tight space. It doesn't look like it. It looks very voluminous. But it's a tight space. See,
my doll isn't showing how much I, like, move around a lot. Like, she should, like, get up on a seat.
Maybe.
Like, she definitely needs her arms up there. That
she is not as active as Jazzy is being. Oh, yeah. That's good Freudian. Legend of Tampon Fist is just basically your story of a Tinder coming-of-age story about a girl who gets her period in the woods. And... just basically there's a guy with a tampon for a fist that comes out when a girl gets her first period. I think that's scary. And I think it's criminal that Tampax has not contacted me. Even though personally I feel like...
Have you hashtagged them?
I should. What I really want to do is get that filmed really well.
Uh-huh.
And sell it.
I would be down if you need a PA... a BA, nice. VA, whatever you're going to call your on-set crew.
That's nice, because Jazzy is part of Nightpantz.
It's true.
Finally, we're going to talk about Jazzy.
Oh, yeah,
Jazzy time.
Me.
Let's do a little background, Jazzy. Where do you come from? Jazzy, where do you come from? That's also racist if you know Designing Women. That's, oh, God, I am not doing Juneteenth well.
No, I think we... Honestly, I think after we stop this episode, we should, like, record an apology to everybody about the way we started it.
Yeah.
But we had it on the brain because we were so mad and disappointed at everybody.
Yes.
Where do I come from? I come from a lot of white people that I'm sad and disappointed in right now. I grew up actually half out here in LA and half out in Vegas.
Oh, man.
It was a bounce back and forth type situation. And so I did really elementary school out here in LA, then junior high and part of high school out in Vegas. A couple years of high school out in Simi Valley where and remember the racist. And then
I'm from Idaho and even I'm like, oh God, Simi Valley?
There are balls on the back of trucks as far as the eye can see. God. It's incredible out there in ways that are not incredible. And you know, Vegas, I don't know if people realize on a widespread scale, one, what a small town it is, and two, how, like, up until recently it was really a red state.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty redneck. It's pretty redneck out there.
Despite
even the best of the best.
Despite the chicken ranches. Right.
Which, like, I can break that down too. I did this real drunk in New Orleans. I was out there.
I'm going to do this real quickly because this is the part I know Donavan will want to hear about. We're fascinated with the Moonlight Bunny Ranch.
Here's my only dealings with that is a friend actually got a menu for another friend, and we were marveling that it was like a Chinese menu.
No.
Yeah, because smart. It's like combo number one girl, 15 minutes. Like, it was like you just go and say, this is what I'm interested in, and then you pick your girl. It was real. That was a real weird thing for a 19-year-old gal to process. So I was like,
15 minutes.
It's been so long since I read it. Maybe they got 25.
No. Let's be clear. It only takes 15 minutes.
But it was like a Chinese food menu where there were like, when you go to a legit place and there's like 60 things. Yeah. There's like 60 things on the menu.
Yeah.
Like it was like that where it was
gosh.
like everything was so specific that they had like a shit ton. Like it was a trifold. Wow. That might have been the chicken ranch.
Yes.
That might have
Also, if you're on Amazon Prime, find the Chicken Ranch documentary. You will not be disappointed. It's like Grey Gardens meets the Chicken Ranch. It's so special and so lovely.
The best description of anything.
Oh God.
Just little Edie in the corner. So the
Your dick in your mouth costs 50 extra. That's my shitty little Edie.
I love it. Oh, that's what you need next is a burlesque little Edie.
Oh God, I think Liz Stockton has beat me to that.
Oh, has she? Oh God, she's so
amazing.
brilliant.
Oh my God,
she is so fucking.
Speaking
brilliant.
of Liz Stockton, if you would like to come see my play, this is all about self-promotion. My play Dorkid premieres on July 10th at the Pack Theater, and it stars Liz Stockton, aka Brandy Snifter, and yes, she is fucking brilliant.
Every outfit she puts together, every burlesque act she's put together is fucking amazing. I was in Rocky out here as a teenager, and so I remember being like, that chick is so perfect, like even back then. So it's like I've always been like Liz Stockton equals perfection in my head. Little hearts around perfection.
Fun. Okay, type 2 on me.
Okay.
I'm shrinking it down. When my first boyfriend came out here from England, he'd never seen Rocky. Ever. On any format. So I'm like, oh, we're going. And we went to go see it, and she was there. She was Janet. And we're both, that's the one with the talent. We both turned to her just like, yeah, that's the one with the talent. And then years later, I would come to be her roommate, and I find that to be amazing.
That is amazing. It's just how small this world is, really. Yeah. It's crazy.
Type 2.
Okay, so how did we get to Liz Stockton?
Rocky. No, we're talking about. Oh, I did my little Edie. We're talking about Chicken Ranch.
Chicken Ranch. So yeah, there's a menu. There's a lot of combos on it, but that's really my only dealings with that. But my theory about Nevada being conservative with having all of the shit that it is. When I was in New Orleans, I kind of put something into words that I had never clicked, but I grew up, so I kind of knew. I was like, New Orleans was like founded by pirates. It's like Las Vegas's artsy cousin. And Vegas was definitely founded by corporations.
Oh, yeah.
And so no matter what, the red state, they like the money. There's no state taxes. That's why
so many Californians file their legal licensing, or they're basically their business taxes. They do it either in Delaware or Nevada. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, right now, like Amazon's like doing, Amazon's out there, Zappos is out there. The Zappos guy has actually done, shout out. I don't know what type of a dude you are. You're a dude with a corporation, so you've probably, sexually harassed at least one person.
I just assume so. That's why you get your MBA.
Yeah, so I'm gonna wag my finger at you about that preemptively. Sorry if I'm wrong. But the Zappos guy has done a lot for the downtown area, like cleaning it up, bringing business to it. I did see a knife fight the last time I was there, but you can't really control who comes once you make the playland. So, so there's the hipster I miss the old downtown. But
I miss the old downtown because syrup on Spring Street would give me waffles 12 hours a day. The cutoff time was 10. I knew it. It was in walking distance from my loft, and now it's gone. We lost a treasure.
So both downtown Las Vegas and downtown LA gentrifying at the same time really doesn't do wonders for a drunk me, but that's okay because as I've realized this past weekend, I can be sober and just be a complete asshole too. So I don't. Yeah,
that's what I've realized. I don't need drugs to be a dick.
Yeah, I guess it was just me all along, and sorry I blamed all those things on you, whiskey.
Okay. Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that liquor turns you into a different person. I just believe it gives you the courage to be the person you always wanted to be. And sometimes, like, for me, I get to be a very flirtatious asshole. Like, if I was a white dude, I'm pretty sure somebody would have said something about me by now.
That's how I am when I... Okay, so, about me. Oh, so I grew up between here and Las Vegas. My last real stint from my senior year of high school to when I was 23. I moved out here when I was 23. So that was like my chunk of like really living my life and 21-year-old life out in Las Vegas and figuring that shit out. Yeah, exactly. And again, I remind you, town is small, so it's like when you're all that age, you and have your interests, you kind of all hang out in the same places. Yeah. And so I was just like, I had an awesome life, an amazing life, the best of friends. But that was even more reason where I was like, I'm never going to do anything different if I stay here. Like, I've already kind of figured it out. So... Yeah,
like, for me, back home, like, I think my best chances for a good job would either be a waitress or a gas station clerk.
Right. And my ex had just moved back to town, and I was like, this town really isn't big enough for both of us. Like... like, I was just like, I had this itch. Like, I was like... And like, he does make me want to itch when I think of him, but like... Yeah. Like I was just like, I need to see if I can do something different. And if I can't do something different, town's not closing up. And so I came to LA, and I've made rent every month for 12 years.
Guys, that is an achievement. You have no idea.
So tonight might be the first night I get my car towed. We don't know. I'm always...
Nah, this street's pretty cool. As long as you don't dip into the alley, you're cool.
See, I'm out on the bus area.
Oh, okay. I think you should be fine. Oh, yeah. If you're on that street, we won't mention that street because I don't want people to know exactly where.
No, not at all. And that's pretty vague.
I like to say that I live in Diane Cannon. People
because she's got a wide, dry gap between her.
There's so many cannons. And I'm always like, I have had this idea for this show for quite a few years, and like always I need it to be from a more glamorous canon than Laurel or Benedict. Most people probably remember Diane Cannon from Bob, Ted, Carol, or Alice, or Ally McBeal as Judge Whipper.
I like the most people part.
It's like, here's where I know her, and here's where you probably know her. But Diane Cannon is fabulous, and I'm honored to live in Diane Cannon.
I love your twist on Benedict, because fuck him.
Fuck Benedict, fuck Laurel, fuck Coldwater.
The thing about Laurel is she pretends like she's all free, but she's usually just backed up.
She's so worn out, too. It's like, come on.
Yeah. This is the only way that I feel comfortable having this sort of conversation is talking about Laurel Canyon.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, so 23, I moved out here and I had been doing admin work for, like, ever.
Preach.
And so I didn't, when I moved out here, again, I just did it because I was like, I just need to be different than what I'm doing in Vegas.
And also, it's not like there's any shortage of admin jobs in Vegas. No shortage of admin jobs in LA. Right.
I'm like, I'm not doing much special. And I didn't know I was creative at all. I didn't actually start doing anything at all until I took my first improv class. This gets us to Nightpantz. In September of 2014.
Wow, where'd you do it
at? UCB.
Nice.
101. It was one of the last classes on Santa Monica Boulevard, catty corner to the Pack. And it was Ben Seaman was the teacher.
Oh, yeah.
And he's fucking delightful and hysterical. Funny tidbit, I chose the class because I saw that he had been in Thanksgiving 3, which I was like, that is the man I want to learn from.
I like that.
So, and then I met Tim in that class. And Tim Lacatina, who is the head of Nightpantz.
Nice.
And so at the time, Nightpantz didn't exist. Nightpantz was actually a class joke about... Tim wore sweatpants like 6 classes in a row, and then he wore a nice pair of jeans, and like you could see it in the circle. You know the circle.
Yeah.
We're all in the circle, and I could slowly see the wave of people just staring at him. And then it turned into a huge discussion of night pants versus day pants. And so it was a big...
It's a good conversation.
It's a good conversation. He had plenty... Because we had plenty of questions, and the man had plenty of answers. I'm going to give him.
That's what I like about improv people. They just... there's no shortage of answers. I feel like we're just all on stage going like, give me a good question.
You know what I think it is? I think it's these hot lights. It just, like, we're just like, I'll just keep talking.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're sweating. It's like being at the gym, but without having to do anything. Also, this is my theory because you've been on podcasts because everybody has a podcast. By the way, me time again. Check out Ships in the Night, hosted by Greg Goodness and Zach Wilson. I am a guest this week where we pair different characters and different fandoms together. This week we paired up Doug Funny with Harriet the Spy. It's hot, and I'm probably going to get arrested in many states for it. Willy Wonka and the Green M&M.
I can see that.
We made it work.
No, I can see that.
And we pair Mary Poppins up with the various people. It's a great podcast, and if you're a nerd who loves nerd shit, you're gonna nerd the fuck out. You can't subscribe through fanfiction.net, but you can do it through iTunes.
I'm thinking that the draw to Willy Wonka for the green M&M is like the bad boy thing. Like, he's killed a shit ton of her people. But
yeah, we mentioned this.
Okay, I'm happy about that.
But we also say that she's a sentient chocolate, which makes her unique, and also his dad is a dentist.
Oh, shit.
So it's like, she's like forbidden chocolate.
So they're each other's forbidden chocolate, so to speak. Oh,
yeah. Listen
shit.
to find out what we
hot.
do. But it didn't melt.
Because it's got a shell.
So, all right.
So
everybody has a podcast.
Everybody has a podcast. I've done a few.
And some people do. They do the web interviews with the videos, and I've seen you do yours with Nightpantz. But I think the thing is, like, in both, you're kind of really worried about being on. Like podcasts, like, I have to sound funny. I have a microphone in my face.
Yeah.
I need to wait for other people to talk. And then when you're on, like, does my hair look good? How many cameras are on me? What do I do with my hands? That's my thing. What do I do with my hands? This setup I find, you're my fourth guest.
Okay.
I've always had a super easy time talking to people. And people, like, some people I don't know as well, like Gina Ippolito, she's a new friend. So I'm like, oh God, we're not going to have anything to
She's the one who's writing for Murphy Round?
She is.
Oh my God. I have to say, I am so honored, like, the people you've had on this podcast, I'm so honored to be number 4, because, like, Jesus, oh my gosh, like, fangirls all over.
You had to be in my first month, because I'm like, I want people who either I really want to get to know, such as my next guest will be Sarah Clark Chan, who I just love in so many ways.
I can't wait to hear.
And Jessica Malchery, who I've sort of known but didn't quite know. I'm like, I'm gonna get to know her better on my show. And then you have people like you and CK Kimball, where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be fine. We're just gonna talk.
I wanted to weigh in on your and CK's podcast like so many times. I hope you heard me yelling at you this weekend, because I was like, Eve!
Was it the pants shitting? Because, like, that's the thing that people have been talking to me the most about.
It was the Daria, and there was one more thing you guys talked about.
By the way, Jazzy is wearing a Daria shirt right now.
Oh, shit. Yes, I am. Okay, so...
Jazzy, do not wear the shirt of the show that you're going to be on. That's my shitty Sandy.
Daria's cousin or something or other.
Queen's cousin or something. We need you to drive us to the mall.
Yeah. Fucking, so I love your Sandy impression.
Thank you.
2, when the commentary that CK made about the Everybody Hurts DVD.
Yes.
I've seriously yelled that at Hondo no more than like a dozen times. Like, every time I watch the episode, I'm going to feel differently about it.
No.
And then you guys said something that I've never thought about in these dozens of times I've screamed this to the heavens. Like, I was like, you couldn't even get it. Everybody Hurts. There are people that are watching that cartoon today that are learning all the lessons we learned, because that shit holds up. Mm-hmm. Shit holds up. Who don't know the reference and don't know that it's missing.
I know.
And I was like, holy shit. I had to sit down. You guys just blew my fucking mind.
CK blew my mind, because I was like, she's brilliant. brilliant. She's one of the greatest ones, and she is the creator of the Mobcrush burlesque.
Ah.
And she said something very lovely. She did there. It's like, I said, I want to do this, and I never done burlesque before. And she's like, yeah, you're in, whatever. I don't care if you do burlesque. Just be here. Be here.
That is so awesome.
No, she is the best, and I hope she brings more burlesque to the pack, because I feel like that's her niche.
I went to the Bacchus on Saturday night, and that was great. She was amazing, which was my second time seeing her, because my first time was when you were gracious enough to have me at your pack pitch. And the infamous pack pitch that went on way too long. I mean, if that's the worst thing that happens.
No.
You also had a T-Rex do coke, so I
stayed dead on stage the entire time. Until it was time to do the dance that got cut off.
Which birthed this, though.
It really did. It was because I ran out of time. I'm like, I made a choreography video of dolls dancing, because we didn't have enough time to rehearse, and I was freaking out that nobody would want to get together to rehearse. This is how sad my life is. Like, I guess no one will want to play with me. It's a lie. That's my shadow self telling me lies. And
my shadow self is vicious. Don't worry.
Right?
I get it. Yeah.
Let's talk shadow selves.
Oh, God. My shadow self is awful.
Like, this weekend, like, I finally, like, I had this great Saturday. Like, you know, I did my thing with Gina, and it turned out well, even though half of it got cut off. But it was like, I really feel like I made a new friend. And then I did my VO with Liz, Nina Minnelli, who you also met at...
That's right.
Who never got to shine. She brought a devil mask and everything.
Very sweet, though. Very sweet.
And we recorded it at Robert Clark Chan's place, who's just one of the nicest guys. It's like, some men like to talk that they're an advocate for women, but Chan is like there with his stick, going like, respect! Or actually like, he did not respect you.
You know what? Sometimes it's nice to have a verification voice. As weak as that might sound as I say it out loud, but sometimes like I think that I'm like what was it, L3 on Star Wars, the new Star Wars with Donald Glover. Donald Glover's the one thing that really matters to me.
Oh yeah.
His feminist robot.
Ooh.
Or his robot.
I haven't seen Han Solo yet, but I want to, because you know what? I like fun guys. Fuck you.
Donald Glover has this robot who's obviously, she's a robot, like, freedom.
Nice.
And it's obviously, like, supposed to be a feminist, and that's how I was with her the whole time.
Right.
And it's why I feel like I'm, the worst friend, like, in a lot of situations. Like I am kind of Daria-esque, where I'm like, yeah, I bet you it wasn't that person who liked your Instagram. They probably have a bot. You hashtagged them. And then I'll walk away, and they'll be like, why did I say that to my friend? I like that person. Why did I just say that? But
here's something to cheer you up. Like, I play HQ like so many people. I don't know why, because it's like, oh, I could win 16 cents with like 20,000 other people for this $2,500 prize. But like, you always see people get the wrong answers, and everybody's like, everybody knows the strawberries are red. What's with this guy? I'm like, it's a bot. They're bots. They're trying to play the odds of bots. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know what? If a bot likes my page, that means that somebody's bot is trying to get in on my turf. Thank you, bot.
I have recently had a haircut with somebody who was not nice to me while they were cutting my hair.
Wait, Mariah?
Oh, no, Mariah is always a sweetheart. Sorry.
Okay, we need to clarify. Mariah Balenciaga.
Mariah Paris Balenciaga
cuts Jazzy's hair, and I've sort of met Paris a few times when Morgan McMichaels is doing bingo, and she is lovely.
She is that sweet all the time. She is so chill. She is so sweet. I fucking love Mariah.
Also, from the house of Balenciaga. I mean, come on. If you've seen Paris is Burning, you know that this is like top tier shit.
And her dancing is as on point as her fucking makeup is.
Yes.
She can do anything. I think that you saw the story I posted where she cut my hair after she set up her drag race booth while she got ready for another show in the dark because the power had been knocked out by the wind, and she cut my hair in the wind. Like, there's so many. Like, Mariah, love her.
The wind called Mariah, and Mariah did cut.
Mariah did not care whatsoever, and her roommates are sweet. I love Tristan and James. What? But Mariah's been really busy, and we work opposite schedules anyway, and she does it as a favor. So like, I was in this my shadow self was telling me not to bother Mariah. Right. And then I had a friend tell me they could get me an appointment with a certain celebrity stylist that's on Netflix right now. And so I went. I don't want to say anything too mean because I'm sure he was just having an off day. But there was a lot of really odd, really catty things said to me.
What?
And it didn't help that, my shadow self was already there. And I was, doing a stand-up show the next week that I was really nervous about. And so I was just, and then he cut my hair like I was a soccer mom. No. And he barely paid attention. And he told me my haircut was overproduced. And there was a lot of things. I lobbied the overproduced thing back at him. I was like, well, haircut's overproduced and all. And he was like, oh my God, I don't want you to think I'm a cunt. And I was like, I'm a comedian, I can take it. I was just like, whatevs. But I couldn't take it, Eve, because my inside was hurting.
Call Samantha B and to get her to call that man a cunt. I'm sorry, hair is important. It's like the one accessory you have every day, unless you have a lot of wigs. But works don't really.
It's true. Luckily I do have wigs. Because he had rescheduled on me. I had even done that red wig shoot with Cameron.
Nice. Cameron Rice, who is a co-producer on Speedface.
Love Cameron.
He's a nice guy.
I met him on the set of Paint. He is nice.
I'm saying nice.
I'm sorry. He's very nice.
He's an okay guy who let me borrow his bear costume to do a great sound for my video. And often forgets that I email him to do Speedface here and there, but then I feel bad because then I get sick and I can't do Speedface. He's a nice guy. Judging you.
I love it.
I often bring with me, when I go to the hairdressers, a picture of a 2-year-old toddler boy who has hair that ends right at his cheekbones all the way around, and I say, do not make me look like this. I have very big cheeks. And if you cut it the wrong way, I look like a taller penis head.
He kept asking me why I let somebody use a razor on my hair because you shouldn't razor cut curly hair. I'd like you to know that I have not ran a straightener through my hair today. And the best my regular hairdresser is back home in Vegas. She's been doing my hair since we worked at Torrid together 2004. So going to Mariah here is just when I can't get back home, and Mariah's awesome. Mariah's sweet. This other story is not about Mariah.
To clarify, we love Mariah.
We love Mariah. We are lukewarm on Queer Eye. So
the cunt. We're just gonna call him the cunt.
Well, he was like, your hair's so curly. And I was telling my regular hairdresser, Letty, that, and she kept looking at me, and she was like, do you think that he sees your non-straightened just wave, which I call my white trash wave, right? Your non-straightened wave, and think that that's as straight as you could get it? And I was like, maybe that was it. Yeah, he didn't realize I hadn't done my hair
you have wavy hair like I have wavy hair, which is like, I mostly slept on her right, but this one thing is going to do a little kick out that makes me look lazy in the morning.
Right. This is like, I took the rubber bands off my chopsticks and I put my hair in a ponytail, so now it's got a little bit of a dent in it.
Yeah, it's called sweat.
Yeah, it's called, I grew up in a trailer park, guys. That's how my hair grew in.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah. I grew up in a trailer park on Balboa and Satiquay out in the valley.
What was the trailer park name for you?
Park Royale. Thank you for asking.
Mine was Wagon Wheel Trailer Court.
They were proud. I remember, I just had this memory the other day. I remember sitting in the back of the trailer where I used to play. This is also where I found my first porn.
Question. Sorry. Yeah. Fleetwood or Marlette?
I don't know.
What
is
maker
this?
Of the trailer, because they always display the name prominently on the front.
So mine had an add-on.
Ooh.
And I think that the part of it that might have had been cut.
Yes. And
then because they made it longer and put an extra bedroom and side to it.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure, but it was the type of trailer that had an add-on, and you could there was a clear delineation in the trailer.
Of course. Okay, if you've never seen an add-on trailer, I'll try to post up some pictures because, guys, you look at it and you're like, why did anybody think this was a great... This is a great idea that only somebody with a couple $100 to their name can have.
So it had like a crown molding where they attached the add-on part on the inside.
Oh, God.
And this is the trailer park that they like actually like costumed up for My Name is Earl. So it was like,
holy shit,
it needed dressing for My Name is Earl. So, yeah, I also recall getting food stamps and sent to the store across the street, and that store is still there, to buy cigarettes for my mom when I was like 8 years old with food stamps.
Yeah.
And like I was like they would give me money back. Like if she gave me a $20 food stamp because it was like in those booklets,
Right.
they would give me cash back for those cigarettes. Anyways, weird memory. So during the 94 earthquake, that thing split like a tuna can.
Of course it did.
Because it was basically a tuna can.
Because the person who probably made it was probably the same person who thought this would be a good idea.
You could stand on either side of the crown molding and feel the differences. Okay. So I remember sitting outside in the backyard one day, and I was looking at the public storage behind us, and I remember thinking like $99 a month isn't so bad.
Yes, I've had this thought.
And like it's not that different than conditions right now.
No.
Like it's gonna get hot. I'll need I was 9 so I didn't understand all the logistics of that, but that was what I had aspired to.
Yeah.
If that, like, so it's like I have like no 5-year plan. So that's what I was going to say about Van Ness. Is the haircut guy, is he kept on saying like...
Wait, Jonathan Van Ness?
Yeah.
That Jonathan Van Ness?
Yeah.
Oh, God. He was the cunt?
I can't watch season 2 now. I can't. I'm sure he was having an off day. It was really busy.
Hopefully.
So because he was really nice to everybody else that came in. It was almost to a comedic level where... I was, like, just trying to find any footing of talking to him, and then, like, the girl who was there for prom, working with the other woman getting her hair done, she's, like, 17, started talking about, like, how she knew sign language. She was super cute, super sweet, and he was like, oh, my God, I want you to be a guest on my podcast. Your hair is overproduced. I was like, whoa! Like, it was so weird.
Wait. Did he know that it was you in that chair?
I don't think he cares who I am. Like, I think that was clear that day.
Oh, God.
He cared about the horrific red dye that had been in my hair a year earlier. So...
I am not liking this. This is Donovan's favorite queer eye, too.
So that... Well, I do have to say, in a weird turn, Bobby, the interior decorator guy, came in, and he was sweet as fucking pie.
Oh, that's
he
good.
was
He's
sweet as
my
pie.
favorite.
And Jonathan's assistant was sweet as pie, too. And that's why I say, like, maybe he was having an off day. Like, maybe. I like to believe, like, it's, like, busy sort of mind, and, like, we could all get careless.
Sometimes we need to stop and eat a couple peanut M&Ms and get it together.
Exactly. So that's why I was like, anyway. But I went and got it fixed. This is the fixed haircut. I went and saw Letty. Nice. So we're all good. We're all level.
Now, I'm just going to say this, because I feel like this is where we probably have a connection we never knew, because I too grew up in a trailer court.
Okay.
I grew up in a trailer, grew up in a Fleetwood.
I'm so jealous that you know its brand.
I stared at it so often, but luckily we didn't have the dual.
You didn't have the tin can.
So my mother had the idea. I was like, maybe we could.
My mom at some point got a used dishwasher. Oh my God, you're flooding back memories. And it had to be plugged in through the sink.
No,
there was no place for it. So it actually just floated in the middle of the kitchen like an island.
That's what my grandmother had, but she had a house. But she had that in the house. I was like, why do we have this kitchen island that's so useless?
And it had the nasty back that would get real hot. And it was always like, don't stand back there, you're going to get burnt. So I think we're jumping all around on where I came from.
Yeah. But I'm just going to wrap it up with a little trailer court. Because, like, there's something that when you grow up in a trailer, everything else is an up. Everything else is an up. Because, like... Unless you've had the experience of your room flooding when it rains on the bottom, being able to put a push pin in your wall with minimal effort, just to like know what your house is made of and seeing the underside of your house and
The
fixing your
underside of
plumbing.
your house. That's where I found my first porn. The underside of our house.
It's a mystical place.
It is.
That doubles as storage and for raccoons as well, I guess. But yeah, there's just like something after you've lived in a trailer, everything else is just like, I live in an apartment. This is awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's like, even though I don't want to necessarily be like trailer park checking account again,
Right.
I can. Like, I know how to. Like, it's
Yes.
it's not, I'm not aspiring to, even though my closet might say a different story. But I definitely know I could do it.
It's like, you know the taste of Hamburger Helper, and you know which one to
Fuck
get.
yeah. And I know how to doctor up ramen better than anybody.
Right. That's one of the first things I learned how to make as a kid. I learned how to make instant oatmeal, which also the oatmeal packets had like interesting fun facts, like Columbus didn't discover America. So I was like radicalized as a very young girl. It's like, fuck you and your Columbus propaganda. And yeah, ramen. Those were the first two things I ever learned how to make. And like, you know, you get skills.
I remember I used to like make scrambled eggs all the time, like when I was 5. That was...
I'm not an egg as a kid, like, you remember the legs, pantyhose? And they're kind of the fake egg?
Yeah.
Somehow, because I saw that, I made the association that all eggs taste like pantyhose. I couldn't eat eggs for the longest time.
That's a really funny kid thing.
It is.
So that was, I aspired to move into a public storage, and then fast forward, I moved to LA and I got a job with the government, and then fast forward, I met Tim. We're skipping over some things.
That's
like,
fine.
I went to...
Jazzy, we can always have you back.
I went to New York and I saw Hedwig like a million times.
Who's Hedwig?
I saw Neil Patrick Harris, I saw John Cameron Mitchell, and I saw Taye Diggs.
Who was the best?
I say that they're all different. Like, I liked... Okay, Neil Patrick Harris was like Broadway perfection.
Of course.
Also the shortest show, which shows like the sharpness he was doing everything. Everything was like well rehearsed. I was front row. I cried the last 3 numbers. My fucking goth beautiful makeup just down my face.
Becoming more and more gothic beautiful.
Yeah, just becoming Robert Smith right before the band's eyes. And then John Cameron Mitchell was amazing. It was like a punk rock cabaret. It was considerably like half an hour longer, but fucking worth every second of it. Taye Diggs was like a gospel brunch. His rock numbers were even a little bit slower and soulful.
Interesting.
I don't know if it was his register or just like the way he just decided to mold the numbers, but all of them really funny. Then I saw Lena Hall and what's his name, Darren Criss, a couple times out here when I was in town. Yeah. And Lena Hall is perfection because I saw his Yitzhak too. I saw his Yitzhak and Hedwig. Sorry,
that's pretty awesome.
Now. Yeah, so I did that. Signed up for the improv class. Met Tim. Tim at the end of class was like, "Hey, I want to make some Vine videos. You want to do that too?"
Hey guys, remember Vine?
Remember Vine? We made like one, and we could never figure out the format. Then we made what we call the ballet video, which is Tim dancing in nude tights across different places in LA, and I helped film that. And I helped see, like, he did like 12 different edits of it, and I got to see like how editing was a different side of storytelling.
Oh yeah.
And I just kind of fell into like making Nightpantz be a live thing, and like learning how to produce and learning how to write, and just kind of like got taught, you know, like as we went, and everybody was so kind to do that with me. And
I think we're all hunting for connection and experience and with like-minded fellows.
Yeah, so it was that was sort of how I got like into everything, and then I started modeling like concurrently because it was an easy way to get a creative high in between sketches coming out like a junkie.
Yeah. The reason high, because I used to do this series called International Model. Just because I felt beautiful. I feel certain ways about myself, but like not a lot of people believe it, and they think that you have to make it a joke. So I kind of just assume like I'm just gonna go do what I see and just be me trying. I think seeing people try is really hard for people, and I wanted to be kind of naked about that. So it actually gave me more confidence than I ever thought it would. Because, like, I was like, you know, maybe I can style. Maybe I'm not so bad after all. And then I just kind of grew from there.
I completely agree. Like, I feel like the Trailer Park Kid, you know, aiming for public storage. And it's just been, like, each experience. And it's funny. I've learned so much by doing that. Probably, like, as much as I've learned doing digital sketch, I've probably learned, like, way more pushing myself through the modeling.
Yeah.
Because I've learned these sort of things that people will say to you, the sort of things that people will say about you. I've learned the sort of slut shaming around it, if that's the... I don't know if that's the way to categorize it. I've never really...
People chastising you for showing so much skin?
Yeah. Well, and making assumptions. Like, you know, somebody was like, well, you know, I know when you're done looking for attention, you'll move on. And it's like, I don't think you understand why I do this. I do it because I can, and people tell me I can't.
Yeah.
And people infer that not just I can't, but that Eve can't, or
right.
Which it sounds like the same reason why you did it too.
It's like, guys, we all have the same phone. We can do it all.
Yeah, and it's like, no, we can. And then that actually moved past just like me, like my friends got to see like you can do whatever, and then I found out like my friend does my hair was showing her daughter and saying like, look, you can be whoever you want to be,
exactly.
And it became something bigger than I had anticipated or ever known.
I'm very big on showing everybody, and like the fact that diversity is finally breaking down a lot more, and people are like, oh, we don't always have to cast skinny white people in things, and we don't always have to have tokens. Like, I remember in my English class in high school, we were talking about homosexuality, because you can imagine in Idaho we were so loving and accepting, and like there was people that's like, yeah, well, there's so many homosexuals, you know, like, well, how come we just don't see, how come we didn't hear about them in the 50s? How come I don't see them on TV? I'm like, you know, people would probably think it was normal if we showed actual people on TV without it being a very special episode. Mm-hmm. And presented as something that's totally normal. It's like, well, it's not normal. It's like, because you don't see it. People can exist without you seeing them.
Or as I have a friend who criticizes Queer Eye a lot because, as he's put it, gay man.
Queer minstrel show?
He does believe in minstrel, and and especially because he's femme, I think is why he believes in minstrel, because he's naturally femme, and then femme has been so played up, and he's gotten a lot of shit about it.
I only like my gays femme. It's like, that was like the huge thing in the 90s.
So his thing is like, okay, like they had a second go at it, and they still cast gay men who only know how to do styling type stuff. And the two besties off the top of my head aren't style, like, you know, they're thrift shop.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, like kind of goth in high school. Like it's still perpetuating the, well, he's like, I'm sure those people can use an accountant.
Yeah.
Like,
probably much more than a lot of much more than they need to know the wonders of an avocado.
Okay. Here's the thing about the fucking guacamole. Like, the second he was like, I'm going to teach him guacamole, I was like, that's cute. And I was like doing laundry. And then he was like, I've got limes and I have cilantro and I have avocado. And I was like, he's doing a good job. And then he was like, and I like mine smooth. And so instead of sour cream, I was like, instead of sour cream.
Whoa. Yeah. I was like, this was like...
And then I like dropped my laundry. And then he's like, I put Greek yogurt in it.
Ow.
And I immediately started rewinding it like I misheard. Like the Zapruder, you're Zapruder. Yes, it was Zaprudering the fucking footage. And I was like, he fucking did it. I've watched it so many times. He still does it every time. He still puts Greek.
So you're pro no creamy filling in there.
No creamy filling.
I like it chunky. I like it natural, like a little pico de gallo. And you mix that and you...
And frankly, if you don't want it chunky, it's just like fucking peanut butter. Just keep stirring. It's gonna go smooth.
It'll smooth.
Literally, avocado is used in lieu of like yogurt and shit.
It just feels like a gallbladder blowout.
Oh, thank you. I just had my gallbladder out last September. Yeah. I'm still, the house is settling.
That's good.
Have you done it?
No.
I say like it's like a like.
Have you done the gallbladder?
Have you gotten your gallbladder
out? Have you even gotten your gallbladder out?
Can you even model with your gallbladder in? But I've taken to doing shit now where I barely paint my nails for photo shoots, and I always wear sneakers and shit because people are like, you can't do that, and I'm like, why not?
It's like I see all these other people doing it, and it's like, what's the difference?
Yeah, like why? What's wrong? What's wrong?
It's like one of the other things about with the modeling and trying and people seeing me try is like, it gets to other people saying, why do you do that? Why? And it's like, because I can. And it gets me very proud because like the more
I can, I love that.
The more you say because I can, the more you're gonna do it.
Because
and the more
I can.
confidence you're gonna get in doing anything. It's like, well, I did that. Everybody told me it was stupid, and I did it anyway. I didn't die.
I didn't die. It's a good thing. Yeah, no, I'm dying now. She celebrated because I can too hard. That's what happened. Yeah, no, that's sort of, I started doing the digital sketch after meeting Tim, and we started Nightpantz, and we had the Kickstarter, and that was crazy. And then I was producing a lot, sometimes like 2 to 3 sketches at a time on top of working full time.
That's exhausting.
Oh God,
that is a recipe to have your gallbladder out.
Funny you say that. So I had my first gallbladder attack March of 2017, and that was in between. I did a long take at Cassell's in Koreatown, where cameraman just follows me through Cassell's and through the ballroom, and I'm just looking for a place to fart.
Yeah.
But we did it all in one take. I did that, and I produced, and I was in a sketch with a 7-piece funk band, and we made a Pussa Jones review. My babies. We did a sketch live. They recorded live, and we did a music video.
Nice. All
at once, and then that came out in July. So I had my first gallbladder attack in that time. He told me just control it through diet, and I was stupid, and I was like, okay.
Okay. Can we get real? And we're gonna have to wrap it up because it's been over an hour.
Oh shit!
Believe it or not. But you're definitely coming back because we have so much more to cover and so many more judgments to throw.
So we're going to judge my doctor. He was like, control it through diet. So I was like, it got to a point where I was like eating bread only.
Okay, doctors, and I have this argument with my boyfriend a lot because he is a Chinese medicine doctor. If you're overweight by any amount, while that may be a contributing cause to what is going on, there's likely something else going on. I have a very dear friend who had acid reflux for the longest time. Acid reflux. She went to all these doctors, like, yeah, it's acid reflux. If you just lose about 40 pounds, you'll be fine. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right. And, she tried, but she kept getting more and more tired, more and more acid reflux. And then one point, she got really sick. I'm like, oh, you have stage 4 colon cancer. And you know what one of the indicators of colon cancer is?
Acid reflux.
Acid motherfucking reflux.
Those assholes.
Even when I brought this up to my friends, they were like, oh, she just needed to lose weight. And until they finally got on themselves, maybe gained a little more weight, and they're like, oh, wait.
Until you're behind the doctor.
It's that Logan's Run empathy.
Yeah.
It's different now. It's happening to me.
Well, I have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Oh, congrats.
Thanks. I'm PMSing as we speak.
Hey.
And which just means that I've cried at the weirdest things in the past 2 days. So I'm like, that serial killer was caught.
If you love serial killers, you're gonna love the next What the Fuck Ask, by the way. If you can make it, which is on my birthday.
When's your birthday?
July 12th.
Shit, I'm flying out of town.
Yeah, whatever. It's a serial killer show, and I'm writing the serial killer shuffle to the tune of Super Bowl Shuffle.
God, See, this is what happens. I need to like know. You need to send me your calendar in advance so I can plan my life around your shows.
I need to send a monthly calendar out to my besties.
I am in agreement about this. I'm totally about it.
Awesome.
I did put Door Kid on my calendar, which I think I sent you that I did.
It takes place in the trailer park, so
I'm gonna really feel it.
Get there.
So yeah, so the PCOS thing was my primary tracked it for a year and a half with blood tests. And said, you know, I'm going to send you to a specialist because I'm hesitant to diagnose you myself. Sent all of my blood work to the specialist. The specialist has, like, an intern with her. And then she's like, I don't think you have PCOS. I think you're just fat. And I was like, that's fair. How do they mimic each other? And then she was like, well, it just makes the same things happen. And I was like... is that like a higher estrogen level? And she was like, that could be a contributing factor, but what you need to do is just get down to normal weight. And this is my favorite thing to pull out to people. And I was like, so just lose weight? I was like, what's my goal? And she's like, well, just a normal one. And I went, you know, I just lost 45 pounds and kept it off. I was like, you got me in a maintaining stage. And she was like, just keep it up then. You're doing good. And I was like, all of a sudden, okay. And then I was like, can I just get an ultrasound and blood work just because I came in? Jesus. And she's like, sure. And then the next time I came in, completely different tune. Oh my God, you had so many cysts. And I was like, fuck yeah, I did. Like, I didn't want to celebrate that, but at the same time.
But you have to, like, stand up for yourself, and you have to say, you know what, I've motherfucking modeled in front of people now, and I've put up with worse shit than this. Give me my fucking ultrasound.
Yeah, and, like, if I hadn't had that, if I hadn't had, like, that sort of force behind me or that confidence behind me, I would have walked around, just like I did later with my gallbladder, just walking around with fucking PCOS, not knowing why I'm crying at popsicle stick jokes.
This is just life. This is just life.
I'm just 20 pounds heavier every 2 weeks. I don't get it. It's probably because I'm fat. Anyway, yeah.
It's probably because you're not. Go to your doctor. And you know what? For women, we do have to be more vocal and more demanding. Mm-hmm. So to inspire that, it's time for brain bows. A brain bow is something that you say to yourself that brightens your mind, but nothing like shitty, like live, laugh, and love, because that's too many things I gotta do. You're taking up my spoons. I like live, laugh, and leave. Live, love, leave. So that's beautiful. So do you have your brain bow prepared?
I don't have it prepared. Because I'm a slacker. But I do remind myself to push my boundaries a lot, is because I would like to just sit just curl up in a ball. So I'd say push your boundaries.
How about this? Quoth Salt and Pepper, push it.
Push it real good.
That's right. Fucking greatest song ever.
It really is.
Why isn't that our national anthem?
Everybody knows it.
I think...
That along with Shoop. Have you ever been in a room when Shoop comes on?
Let me bring it back to the subject. That's on sex. Makes you get hot, makes you work out the sweat when I skip to my room, my darling.
See? All I had to do was bring it up. It happens. Bohemian Rhapsody.
I'm not going to do that. I have too many neighbors to do Bohemian Rhapsody. Don't make me too fretty.
I like how I was just using you as like the piano at the Magic Castle. I was like, come on, Eve, I know you know it.
By the way, guys, not to get you too excited, but when Emma Felicity, who made this set, I give her a shout out in every show because the set
Emma, it's beautiful.
So amazing.
Look, she passed out drunk in it. So beautiful.
Yeah, you were
She's so
drunk
comfy.
and you didn't even drink. Emma Felicity made this beautiful set, and she also gave me a tiny piano. So soon we're going to be doing some musical stuff, guys.
Can I lay my doll on the piano?
I'll see. Because we also
sing
have
like Marla from A League of Their Own.
Yes, very drunk. I'm singing a Nelson.
It had to be you.
That's too on key. But we have tiny Elton John. I gave Donavan a little Elton John. And so we're going to have some music stuff soon as I rhinestone the fuck out of it.
I love it.
My brain bow is, I am enough. More than enough.
I like it. It's angry. I don't think mine was as angry.
I don't think of it as well, now it's angry because I'm like, I've been judging you. And I got mad at doctors. And I remembered my friend Kelly, which always makes me very angry. But
as you should be.
Let me do it again, okay?
Okay.
I am enough. more than enough.
Eve, you are beautiful and wonderful, and I don't want to be too creepy, but thank you for having me here.
I'm excited to have you. Thank you for saying yes, and thank you for being such a vocal supporter of the show. Jazzy Byner, everybody, catch her on Nightpantz. Any other plugs?
Instagram.com/CharmingJazzy. You can keep up with me there.
Please do, because she posts amazing pictures, a lot of pictures, as done by my boyfriend Donavan, and some of the other photographers we mentioned, like Cameron Rice, who does a lot of stuff at the Pack Theater, which is the artistic home base of moi, and where you can see Dorkin! July 10th! That is 2 days before my birthday. This is my... A lot of people, you know, it's like, come to a bar on my birthday. I'm like, come to my play that I wrote and directed. It's my first.
I was like, come to Fat Kid Dance Party. I like working out with Bevan now.
I really want to go to that, because...
Going tomorrow.
Also, you guys see my dancing awkward.
You have to come. It's the best thing in the world. It's been doing wonders for my soul. She is just so... and it's so nice to have, like, the community and not... I mean, it's not just one body type either.
Right.
Like, it's just people who like to get together and be silly.
It sounds like the new Richard Simmons Lemons.
Oh, the video we did shoot... she shot a music video. I just went and tried to keep up with her line dancing. Or music video. I'm sorry. Whatever. Bevan did shoot a workout video for Fat Kid Dance Party that's coming out in July, and I have no reason to say this other than, yes, I am in it, but I really believe in everything that she's doing and pushing. She wants to build community, and she wants everybody to just love themselves and each other, so I'm down.
That's pretty freaking awesome. That's a rainbow all in itself.
So that's coming out in July. Fat Kid Dance Party. Do it at home. Love yourself.
I will pitch that on here. All right. For Jazzy Byner and me, Eve Esquire, live, love, and most